Good evening. Welcome back to Play the Hits. This is Max getting some controller issues apparently. And Chris, how you doing?
I didn't know the Super Nintendo had controller issues.
No, not at all. Of course. I mean, it does some weird stuff when you jack a PlayStation 4 DualShock into it, but it's very forward thinking,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
To avoid this rock
How could they have known what those future wonky controllers would do to it?
I just say I'm pretty good tonight. How about yourself?
Oh shit! What was that? The game's already starting with its horse shit.
That's the whole stage.
Just waves of pain.
Okay.
Oh, welcome back to
and
16-bit
candy.
summer. Yeah, right. Oh god. Actually, yeah, those kind of look delicious. They look like those like giant M&M's Easter eggs.
That's what it is. Okay, it's just like I knew there was some kind of candy, and I keep thinking there was a candy called dinosaur eggs, which maybe there was in Europe.
Probably, yeah.
But
it seems like one of those '90s things that has been lost to time. Well, this seems to be going substantially smoother than the last two levels that we did on this channel.
Yeah, I think it's totally appropriate to say that right now.
Yeah, I think it is.
I don't think anything's gonna go wrong.
No, I think we're gonna be all right tonight.
So speaking of candy,
shit! Nice dodge.
I didn't think that was coming up so quickly.
Sick dodge, bro. It kind of reminds me of
you bitch.
Damn. Kind of reminds me of
what
Super Ghoul.
happened?
Oh no, how'd that happen? Kind of reminds me of Super Ghouls and Ghost, the tidal wave level. If you remember that one.
Was that stage 2?
Yeah,
Because I didn't get too far in
No,
that game. Let
yeah,
me tell
me neither.
You.
There was no getting very far in that
I'm
game.
freaking out, man. No, oh god, I never even got close to beating that game.
Ooh. Hey, Sparks, what up? Roommate's birthday is tonight, so I'll be out for now. Hey, we're gonna try to get back into streaming regularly. But happy birthday to your roommate, and I hope it's a good time.
Yeah, that's pretty. All right, we'll let that one ride.
That one was a real death.
Everybody gets one. Oh my god, they're looking so Muppet now.
Oh dear lord.
It gets worse. We go onto the breaches of hell itself.
Right? My god. Plok gets dark at the end.
Yep. So speaking of candy, I have these nerd gummy clusters.
Oh my god, those are so good.
Oh, you know about those? Okay. Oh,
Connor gets them, and I eat them when he's not looking.
Dad, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Every time we go to a gas station, Dad, can I get nerds ropes? Yeah, I'm gonna fucking get one for myself too, because you bring it up.
Oh, you got the ropes. Okay, gotcha.
Well, the ropes, the clusters, it's all good.
Nerds are great.
They are. Sarah says you.
What? Oh my god, the clusters? And there's so I bought 2 different bags the other day because I had the blue ones before, and we got rainbow clusters as well. But I think I like the berry ones. They're just amazing.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
Berry's where it's at. I mean, grape's okay. That's kind of the default, but you can't beat berry.
No. Where's berry?
Oh my god! Speaking of Connor and snacks and treats, you know what else is freaking really good? And I hate to admit how good it is because I hate the culture surrounding it.
What's that?
Have you had Prime yet?
No, that's I literally just heard about that today. I'm not even kidding. It's an energy drink, right?
Well, so there's an energy drink, and then there's
caffeine.
A sports drink. Well, and then there's just a regular sports drink, like a Gatorade.
There's a flea over
replacement. Yeah, there was. You let it live.
Come on.
There it is.
Yeah.
But so I've only had the sports drink because my days of doing energy drinks are not happening anymore. But oh shit.
Oh no. Yeah, I know. What the hell? That's all me.
No, you're good. But it is surprisingly good. Apparently, it was made by Jake Paul, who I'm guessing you know who Jake Paul is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Though it's his brother though. That's the really obnoxious one, right?
I don't know.
There's two
Which
of
one's
them.
the one that's in MMA?
Well, I think that's Jake, and I think he's trying to be a serious athlete, which is why he came up with the sports drink. But then Logan is the other one. But then Logan is like the Andy Dick of YouTube, I guess.
Okay, maybe it is Logan Paul I'm thinking of. I don't know.
Yeah, he was the one who discovered the corpse in the woods when he was in Japan and just filmed it for views.
And just filmed, yeah. Okay, that is fucked up. I'm so glad I saved right there.
But yeah, so anyways, all that aside, if you get a chance, Prime is surprisingly good. I hate to admit it.
All right, just the taste of it, huh?
Yeah. So I there's like 20 flavors. But the bomb pop, like it's like the old popsicles, the red, white, and blue. It tastes just like it. Damn.
Good to know I'm that close to dying.
Right? At any given moment. Aren't we all?
But you know what? I think you get, because I have the continues, and I know when you're on the island, it gets weird where it's just like redo this boss and stuff. But I think after a while, it's okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Everything's gonna be fine. Look at Plok. He's ready to go.
Look how happy he is.
So Connor and I guess every 10-year-old in creation is obsessed with Prime and Logan Paul. And,
oh, really? Okay.
Well, he's like their Fonzie. I shit you not. Like
what? Why?
He's apparently just cool to 10-year-olds. But all that aside, though, like I was surprised when I tried it. I just figured it was just going to be like a Gatorade or Powerade ripoff. No, it tastes substantially better. There's like less than a gram of sugar in it or whatever, and yeah, no artificial sweeteners or anything. I guess it's sweetened mostly with coconut water, and
oh, okay,
yeah, it's surprisingly delicious. What the fuck is happening here? Jesus Christ! I'm pretty sure I had this nightmare when I was 7.
It's Rockefeller.
Oh no, it's Satan. Is what it is. God, that's how you know you had some fucked up Lutheran school teachers when you had like just horrifying nightmares that you can still remember about going to hell.
Yeah. I don't think you're the only one that's had those.
Oh man, I mean, we grew up right
got
at
off
the,
pretty easy.
Yeah, but we still kind of grew up right at the end of the like doom and gloom phase of Lutheran school teaching. I feel like.
Yeah.
This is actually straight up nightmare fuel. Holy shit.
There's not much to this boss. Oh.
Kind of reminds me of Mowgli from Illusion of Gaia.
Oh, Mowgli.
I still don't know what that
remember
boss.
that, but just you saying it.
And I still don't remember what the boss's actual name is. I just remember Roger calling him Mowgli. What the fuck? Why is it Mowgli? Oh shit! You were doing so good, and all like one hit, and this completely turned around.
I just gotta stop sucking.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Now you know I like you best when you suck, baby. Oh man! Speaking of bosses, I beat Final Fantasy 16 yesterday.
Oh my gosh, you are a boss.
Yes,
all right,
it is.
Let's hear it.
Okay, well, I'm trying to choose my words extremely carefully because I don't want to. Well, I don't want to give you spoilers, but I also don't want to color your impression of the game anyway, because I want you to go in as fresh as possible and like develop your own thoughts about it.
Yeah.
But in as vague and generic terms as I can give, it is not my favorite Final Fantasy, but I also wasn't expecting to be.
Yeah.
But it's more kind of about what the game as a whole symbolizes, which is that Square Enix is getting really serious about developing focused, solid narratives again, and I am thrilled for that.
Nice. All right.
I've already shared with you kind of my thoughts on like the Game of Thrones comparisons and stuff, and yes, there are some plot parallels that are almost like one-to-one, like inspirations, but they don't dwell on them either. It's almost more of like a nod-wink thing, and the story is absolutely its own thing. And
all right,
there's the JRPG conventions, which sometimes feel like they clash a little bit with the kind of like dark medieval fantasy aesthetic, but at the end of the day, like, it's still Final Fantasy, and they've always done just like whatever the hell they feel like with the worlds they create.
Yeah.
The thing that and like I said, I'm not trying to color any opinions of yours for this. The world is substantially better than 13 or 15, but you don't quite get to explore it to the depth that I would have liked.
Okay.
I mean, there's towns. There's a whole lot of like NPC interactions and side questing and things like that.
You were telling me a little bit of that
really,
last time. That some of the towns are pretty big. They're much better than 15's towns.
Yes, but none of them ever get to think like Dalmasca in FF12, or even like what was that one in FF10? Luca.
Where you did the Blitzball tournaments?
Yeah, Luca.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Which are like some of the biggest towns.
Yeah, but
sure.
and so 16.
Well, 12 they were all massive.
Oh yeah, right. And they all had so much. Like 12 was so underrated.
Was just amazing. I know.
People shit on 12 and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, I never shat on it, but man, it took me way too long to play that game.
Oh yeah,
but I remember just texting you all the time, being like, "Holy shit,
right?
Why? Oh, why did I wait?
Why did I wait?" Yeah, no, like it's funny because I really want to talk about 16 and how much I loved it, but it also really did make me appreciate 12 that much more. It's like they had the perfect formula for what next gen Final Fantasy should be, and people just weren't ready for it. They just wanted 7 again, and so Square like went on a decade-long quest to try to recapture whatever it was that made 7 good, and they never succeeded.
You can see that in 13.
Yep. And 15.
Just the look of it, the attitude of it.
Yeah. But what they forgot there, I mean, yeah, FF7's plot was weird as shit, but it was it was complete. Like they told a story from start to finish, and 13 didn't do that. 15 kind of did, but it didn't always make sense. But the 16, my highest praise for it is that the story has a very clear, defined objective right from the get-go, and it never deviates from it. Like you never feel like there's a part in the story where you're like, how the fuck did I get here? Like, what is even happening? You know, like I joked about like the power plant stage in FF15.
Yeah.
Like when you get Gladio back, like what the fuck was that? To this day,
that was fucking weird.
It was. It made no sense. It was completely devoid of context. Like, hey, you have to go in this power plant now, and here's a dude with a big sword, and you have to pretend for 5 minutes to not know
it's not Gladio, right?
What was that? I still like. I mean, I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to flesh out the world and, you know, kind of get down into the nitty gritty, but they didn't do that for 1/2 second for the entire rest of the game, so it completely fell out of place.
15 was so... Oh, man. I still feel bad because I think it could have been really great.
And there's parts of it where you can see it is good, but...
Yeah, and even, like, aside from story, the open world itself is gorgeous.
It is, yeah.
And it is still like,
big. What, like 7 years it's been out for 6-7 years, somewhere in that ballpark? 6 years. And it's still a freaking beautiful game. But, like, for whatever Square Enix's faults are, they know how to craft beautiful looking settings and worlds and characters. Yeah.
I mean, and each one's different. You got to give it credit that it's... I mean, I know there was like 10-2 and everything, but even that, it's just like... There was so much different about that game, and there wasn't there was settings that were reused, but there was a lot of shit that wasn't.
Yeah, well, and so actually that kind of brings me back a little bit to 16 because the game has like some extremely just gorgeous set pieces and like some of the most beautiful environmental. Like I think I sent you a text one day like. Whoever designed the trees for this game should get a raise.
Yeah, the foliage.
Yeah, the foliage
in general.
Yeah. Yes. But anyways, they also though they do this kind of annoying thing, and this is a gripe, where they show you these beautiful like lustrous cities and these far off like exotic looking locations, but they're just window dressing. It's like, wouldn't it be cool if you got to go here? And then when you get there, and then when when you get there, you see it for a cutscene, and then it becomes like a so instead of dungeons, they have like kind of more action focused like set piece segments. Yeah. And it's in those areas, like the places that you never get to revisit unless you just like do a stage replay, where you actually get to see these environments. Like the environments that you get to like run around in and explore and do side quests in, they all kind of look very samey, which is like wooden planks stapled on top of old ruins.
Huh, okay.
And don't get me wrong, it's leagues better than anything 13 or 15 did. But when you look at the game, you can very clearly see like the inspiration it took from 12 with like the hunt system and the side quests and like kind of the way that the game outside of the main story is structured.
Yeah.
And so I thought to myself, man, why couldn't they have given us even just like one big like kingdom to roam around in and like just uncover a whole bunch of secrets in or something like that? Because I mean, it's not hard. The Witcher 3 did it in an open world, and yes, I know not everything can be The Witcher 3, but
not even CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, but the game did not. 16's shortcoming was not a lack of solid art direction or technical process, and like the environments that we do get are all huge. It's just they don't vary a tremendous amount, except in those action stages, which are just that. They're linear action stages that you're not meant to explore. They're gauntlets that get you to the next boss and the next plot beat.
Okay.
So, but all that being said, though, my walk away with like feeling from it is like, wow, this was a phenomenal game, and it deserves to be called Final Fantasy. And like I love that they're not afraid to take risks with the series. They're finally. I think the 7 remake has freed them up to try to do stuff besides try to chase Final Fantasy 7 for the rest of their operation. But yeah.
Well, that's good. And kind of get back to like, hey, this is not be afraid to have maybe just kind of weird story.
Correct.
But
well, yeah, and that's the other thing too. It had a little bit of that. It was way more subdued, and the tone of the game does not deviate from what you saw in the demo. Like that is the tone throughout. I mean, gradually, I think they go for less shock value, if that makes sense. So like in the demo, very clearly they wanted to set the tone that this is a completely different Final Fantasy than you're used to. Like it's not.
Yeah.
Also, does this sound like the dungeon theme from Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past? Or am I just crazy?
Yeah, a little bit. It's the strings. Yeah. The Dark World dungeon theme, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the strings for sure.
Anywho,
I can go on about the music of this game. But...
Oh, I know. But oh god, the music in 16. There's another high praise.
Yeah.
Beautiful soundtrack.
I keep forgetting the name of the frickin'
composer.
Yeah,
me too.
Who did most of the? But yeah, then 14, their work is amazing.
Yes. Yeah, no. 16 had some really beautiful soundtrack pieces and.
Oh, I hate this fucking thing.
And like some emotional story points that back them up. Like I said, whenever they bring out the series main theme, which for the first time in a long time they use quite liberally, you know?
Okay.
So like the series main theme, you know, the do 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 do. They actually bust that out for something besides the end credits.
Oh, wait a second. What you just saying, isn't that from 4? I thought that's like a 4 specific one.
No, I mean it was.
Is that what you're singing?
Yeah, but that debuted in Final Fantasy 1. That was the theme that played when you leave Cornelia Castle and you're on the hill overlooking the world.
No, that's
Isn't that the one that I just gave?
It might have been. I thought you were singing the not Baron. What the heck is that one? Like in the beginning of 4.
Yeah,
not when you're leaving Baron, but that's
the theme.
No,
that's the
different.
series theme.
No, that's different.
When you're
that's the one when you're leaving Baron.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
Dun. Yeah, that is the series theme.
Yes, that one is the series theme.
Yes,
but I thought you were singing
16.
when you first boot up 4 and you're going to Mysidia to kill people.
Oh, duh, 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 duh. No, that's not what.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's what I thought you were singing.
No, that's.
I'm gonna go back and watch this again. Oh god.
Yeah. Anyways, no, they use the series theme as kind of a main beat for the game, and whenever they break it out, it's always at like kind of an emotional high point in the story. And man, it like if you grew up with the series, it gives you the feels.
I bet.
Yeah. And it helps that it's all orchestrated and it's done beautifully. Oh man, that thing does suck. Damn, these enemies hit hard.
They do. Oh my god.
You need to get the red tunic.
And and isn't the red tunic the one that attack is better? Oh, but wait a second, I'm thinking
Link to the Past. No,
yeah,
it's just
I'm thinking of
the Game Boy Color version of Link's Awakening. Yeah.
Link's Awakening. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you got the blue tunic and the red tunic. Damn, man. They're just tearing you up.
But it's really the enemies do suck and they're hard. Thankfully, you don't have to kill them.
Wait a second.
Although,
am I saying this
maybe
right
I'm going to kill him.
Yeah, I would. Am I saying this right? Is Plok an American?
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's totally.
He's got a gun. He's got the flag on his head. I mean, yeah.
You think of it like all of his power-ups. Like you have the one with the buckshot and everything, and that is totally
they're just guns.
like
just
some. That's just his power-up is like
the Second Amendment.
Southern man with gun, like. That's Plok's
oh my god!
True power. He's just very patriotic
and not
believes in the Second Amendment.
Yeah, not afraid to like wave around his Second Amendment rights in people's faces
to protect his property.
Yeah, he walks into like a TGI Fridays with a Magnum strapped to his waist because he can.
Look at him. Of course he does.
Fuck you, Plok.
Oh my god.
What are you gonna do, Lib?
Okay, I just saw Barry somewhere before I died the last time, and
you hate my freedom.
I totally missed it. You hate my freedom. I know you do.
Does this scare the piss out of you, Snowflake? Oh
my god.
Fuck you, Plok.
God, I wish we could be the Americans the Japanese think Americans.
Dude, you know, to this day, when I think of how like Japan or other Eastern countries must see the United States, you know what's always my frame of reference?
What's that?
Did you ever see the episode of Samurai Champloo where they play baseball?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
But it's hilarious because if you watch the
I'm just totally not caring anymore. I'm just like, fuck this stage.
If you watch the Japanese one with subtitles, like the Americans like speak still in English, but it's like Japanese English and really weird, and that was a verbatim language. Jesus.
Oh my god.
Well, holy shit. Oh god. That was probably my favorite episode of that series. It made no sense.
That episode. There's a couple episodes that were like.
The whole series is real good because it was.
Yeah,
it knew
that
exactly
episode was off the
end.
rails, where it's just like, what is even happening?
Yeah,
but
you could
it was
consider
like the beetle races.
Yeah, you could consider it a filler episode, but that doesn't quite do it justice.
Yeah, that's. Speaking of, there it is. Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Oh God!
No! You blew it. You fucking blew it. Oh God.
This I do remember. This is the worst stage of the of these extra stages here.
Oh, okay.
It's because they force a vehicle on you in every stage, and this is the fucking worst with the weapon.
Yeah.
The laser sucks.
Oh, well, hey, while you're working on this though, I have a few more things to share about 16 that I really enjoyed. Oh man. So like in 13 and to a lesser extent 15, the villain of the story was kind of a non-entity until the final act. You know, like you weren't even sure who the real villain was or anything.
Yeah.
16, there's a huge turning point about halfway through the game where you know exactly who the villain is, and that villain stays with you for the rest of the game. So like, there's
what do you think about that?
It's good. It's something that I think was really lacking in 13 and was underdeveloped in 15. Like, I really liked Arden, and I wish they had done a lot more with him. Than just kind of like weird guy who follows you around for part of the game, and then
that whole shit was really weird when you first or the second time you meet him, I guess.
And he drives you to Titan for some reason,
and then he's in like your camp.
Yep.
And it's just like, hey, look at this guy. He's hanging out with you.
Well, and the funny thing is, like, you knew he was gonna be the villain. It's just like, why are they wasting so much time to get to that part.
Yeah, I was hoping for a twist at that point, and it's just like, no, it's just him.
Well,
he's not working for anyone.
Yeah, I hate to dwell on 15, but that was kind of the twist, is that the story was totally incomplete, and in the true ending, he was not meant to be the villain. That was the twist.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a villain. He does villainous things, but it's because he completely got screwed over by Bahamut and the other guys.
Yeah.
And so
I was cool with that angle where they were just like totally unfeeling, like this is how the world has to be.
Right.
You got to do this, Noctis. Like.
Yeah. Well, and did you ever read like the synopsis of like what the DLC was going to be?
Yes.
Yeah, you would have teamed up with Arden and basically like won.
And I don't know if it was Arden at that point, but basically the person that Arden like kind of ended up taking the role of.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then like basically fighting against Bahamut, which they explored that a little bit in the multiplayer, I guess, which I forgot there was a multiplayer in that game.
Fuck that.
That's so weird. Yeah.
That whole series, that whole project was so fucking weird. Let me think here. But yeah, so anyways, 16 does not suffer from that same problem. Now the villain that is the main villain is a little bit unconventional, but I actually liked it for that. It was definitely not like a new generation Kefka or Sephiroth. It was a very unique villain.
Okay. And it's like when you say
oh god.
When you say unconventional, I that's the word I would use for a lot of Final Fantasy villains.
Yeah.
Pretty unconventional.
Yes. And in a weird way, it kind of harkens back a little bit to like even some of the NES Final Fantasies, where it was almost like just this unstoppable, unknowable like force of nature.
Yeah.
Or like, what Zeromus ended up being in Final Fantasy IV, except they do.
I would say force of nature, sort of.
Yeah, except they do fully explore what the villain is and how it came to be and all that good stuff. So like, whereas Zeromus was largely devoid of context, they give the villain in 16 a ton of context, and it's really good stuff.
Okay, cool.
Like, by the end of the game, you want him dead.
Nice.
Yeah, which is great.
Like to hate someone.
Oh my god, you will hate this villain for sure.
Okay.
I will say though, because of kind of that classic nature of him, he doesn't have quite the force of personality though that Kefka or Sephiroth or even Arden had. Like, and that's as much as I'll say, because say anything more than that.
Zemus didn't either, and
right.
He's fine as a villain for me.
Yes, it's definitely way more Zemus than Kefka. But at the same time, like I said, it really doesn't have a proper comparison for the rest of the series. The villain is definitely his own thing.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, yeah, I'm still excited to play the game just because.
Oh, God.
I mean, combat, it's gorgeous.
Yep.
It's and I heard the side quests like.
By the end of the game, they get a lot better. Like the beginning and middle is just like, why the fuck am I running these errands? Like in between like the important stuff. But by the end of the game, like the side quests, they definitely, you can tell, tried to take a page out of The Witcher 3's book, where like the whole reward for the side quest is just getting to know the characters better and the world.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that.
Yes, and that's really good because one thing that I really was not expecting, since you don't like get a real party, you just play as Clive the whole time.
Yeah.
This game had one of the strongest cast of supporting characters in any entry in the series.
I was hoping
yes.
I heard Sid is awesome, but
I
didn't know about anyone else.
Yes, I think Sid is still my favorite, but like everyone in like the little hideout that Clive is a part of is just wonderful. Like they're fleshed out, they feel like real people with real motivations, and like you want to help them. And the parts where they like do tag along for missions, even though they're not really helping you in combat, they're fun because you get to learn more about them, and like I said, it's just about fleshing out the world.
Okay.
And I won't give any of their names because you'll find them yourselves. And like I said, I don't want to do any spoilers.
Okay.
But yes, Sid is definitely a standout. But I was surprised by the end of the game how good they all were. Oh, one that isn't a big spoiler that I will say, when Clive's uncle shows up, get ready for a really fun character.
Okay.
He doesn't show up again until also about halfway through the game, but when he does, it is like...
Was he in the demo?
No. Well, I don't know. He might have been window dressing. You definitely didn't talk to him in the demo. I can't remember. No, I don't think he was part of the demo. No.
Okay. I'm glad I brought 2 drinks over.
But yeah, Clive's uncle is great.
I should be like more than halfway. There's not too many left.
Nice. Oh, Jill, the female lead, is really, really... Like, I did not expect them to develop her as much as they did because she seemed kind of like, just sort of a token, female character. I hate to say that, but,
No, I get you, because Square has done that, where it's just like, and like 15?
You need someone to go
Cindy,
save.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. Or, and Luna Freya had she like
was a total
had
non-entity.
more, personality,
which is a shame,
or at least potential if it was
which is a shame because, like, the one scene where she does star, she's actually kind of badass, but then she's gone just as quickly. But like where she squares off with Leviathan, that was real fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then she's gone now.
Back to the helicopter.
Like, your whole motivation for, like, even going on this quest, just, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, well.
Yeah. Tough shit, lad. Well, and it should have been...
good.
And that's frustrating, because that's the problem with 15. That should have been a huge emotional moment, and it wasn't.
I know,
because they did not develop her at all.
You did not care about her. Like, sounds horrible, but that's their fault.
Yeah, it is. It was sloppy writing. And
it was.
And I will say that 16 is the exact opposite. Like, holy shit, by the end of that game, you are rooting for Clive and Jill.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to, like, cause I haven't gotten any spoilers as far as the story, so yeah, I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah.
And 13, one thing I will say is they had Vanille. But Lightning I thought was okay.
I love
Lightning. You saw growth.
Yes, I love Lightning so much.
This is horrifying.
It really is. Holy crap! Lightning is like the golden thread that makes Final Fantasy 13 a somehow worthwhile entry in my mind. She was such a good character. So was Fang.
But I actually
so
like
was
Fang.
Saz.
Yeah, so when it came to most of them were good characters. I think the youngins, Hope and Vanille, kind of sucked a little bit.
Vanille,
Snow was kind of
a bleh.
Yeah, a little bit, but everyone else is cool. Saz was awesome, but yeah,
I
as far
didn't
as,
like Hope. I didn't like
characters-
Vanille, and Snow is kind of but Saz was, or Saz, or however you pronounce it. What a different character. Like,
yeah,
he was almost like an apology for Barrett, who was just like, token black.
Well, it's a Mr. T like stereotype. Yeah,
though I will say in the remake, they definitely give Barrett much more of the personality that I always assumed he was supposed to have.
Yeah, and they really, they did give him more personality when it came to being kind of scared of things, but also just the eco-terrorist thing.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, very passionate about that.
Yep,
I'm glad that they played that up.
Yeah, that was a huge strength of 7 Remake, were scenes like that, where instead of completely deviating from the plot, they expanded on what was already there and made you think about it differently. That's what they should have done the whole... sorry. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
We'll never get over it.
No, because we've had this conversation like at least a million times on this channel. But no, 16, every single character in the main cast gets their moment to shine, and it's always a treat when it happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And some of them definitely more than other.
Because they fight with you a lot of time. Like,
they do.
Right, yeah.
Even though they're not really doing anything. It's more like window dressing, and like occasionally they'll toss Clive a potion or something, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a mark system in that game, right?
Yes, it's straight up taken from 12.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
It is the exact system from 12. You see a poster, it tells you where to find them, you go find them.
Sweet, okay. I was wondering
it's actually probably
it's
actually probably the most fun mechanic in the game, because obviously
I loved it in 12.
The game's big innovation is its combat system, and they're essentially like your reward for getting to the end game is like challenging these super marks, and oh god, it is so fun.
Oh my gosh. And Clive only get like in the beginning of the game, the combat's still so much fun, but it just keeps expanding.
Yes, it just keeps getting bigger. And like by the end of the game, you can play with some really fun combinations of moves, and like, and that was another thing too. Like, I mean, I'm trying to remember. Was there even an optional boss in 15?
You know what? Yes.
Or was that DLC?
Well, no, there was like optional enemies that were crazy strong.
Oh, the
Adamantoids. Nothing.
Yeah. No.
Well, yeah, there was the huge Adamantoids thing. There was this mech on one of the bases, actually, and that might have been added as DLC, but it wasn't like a big deal wasn't made of it because you didn't get much of anything. But it was, and the thing is like the enemies, the Adamantoids was fun. That was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, that was kind of, it was cool just for its spectacle.
Yeah,
nothing else.
And you know, when it came to, it's not like there was a whole lot of strategy, but at the same time, it was, you felt like you were doing something.
Yeah.
And when it came to some of the other hard bosses, it was just spam elixirs because you keep dying and you can't not die.
Yeah, because like, the dodge mechanic was not
fucking awful. Yeah.
Whereas in 16, oh my god, 16 is super tight. When you finally do get to play that game, and there's inevitably like a boss that kicks your ass.
Yeah.
I treat yourself to like going on YouTube and watching people who really, really have mastered the combat system get through it without taking any damage. Because you can do that. You can beat the final boss of the game without taking a hit of damage.
That's awesome.
Which is like if you've really mastered the dodge mechanics and the counters, Clive is a beast. And the game rewards you. It makes you feel powerful regardless of your playstyle or how much damage you take. But I mean, your reward for getting good at it is that, you know, you're just unstoppable.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
As far as the leveling system, like, are you close to like the highest level?
So that's kind of a cool thing. In the
I wonder how much you have to grind.
Yeah, so in first playthrough, the level cap is 50, and I didn't have to grind at all. And in the new game plus, they up it to 100 and they double the difficulty.
Okay, and that's what I was going to ask is the next thing as far as the post game stuff, because I heard there's a lot, you know, which is cool, and that there's we've talked about this a little bit. Is that sorry, I have to think about that for a second.
You're good.
There's the grades and stuff when it comes to the fighting. No? Okay.
No grade. There's an arcade. There's an arcade mode.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
like after...
and it's not required. It's literally just a way. So like, it's kind of like a challenge mode. You get to go back to stages you've already.
Stop.
You get to go back to stages you've already beaten. They give you a predetermined set of skills and equipment. And wow, that does suck. And try jumping to your right. Yeah, there you go. Now keep hitting it. Whatever.
Oh, maybe it was like an on-off one for some reason.
Yeah, maybe. But anyways, it's literally just a challenge mode, and at the end you get a score, and you can, you know, compare your scores with other people and see how good you are.
Okay, so it's not like the whole game, but with a score system now.
Correct.
It's not that.
Yeah, it's just those action stages I told you about.
Okay.
And actually, there's more than one way to revisit those. There's the arcade mode, which is predetermined stats and equipment. And then there's just like a mode where you can, you know, you can go to one of the first stages in the game, but at level 50 with the ultimate weapon and just blast through it. And it's just really to like collect items that you might have missed and other stuff like that.
Oh, cool. I'm cool with that. Where it's just like, we're not gonna, you could just have everything that you've already collected.
Right.
You know?
And actually the other really cool part of that too is it's a way to see the story beats again. So like if there was just a scene that you really liked or something that didn't make a whole lot of sense the first time, you don't have to save your game and reload it at that part. You can just go to the stone and select that stage again and go to it. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay.
It's definitely way different from anything else Final Fantasy's ever done like that, but yeah.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it.
Yeah. Because like in other Final Fantasy games, you know, it's a persistent world map, so you beat a dungeon, but the dungeon is still on the world map unless it disappears for some reason. And you can go back to that dungeon and re-explore it,
but there's probably nothing new to find there unless you missed an item, and you certainly can't rewatch the story. But with 16, you can.
Yeah, that was something about the PlayStation games was that once you change discs, sorry, buddy. Like,
yep, that's it.
Yeah,
the world is different now. Fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, you want this dungeon? Like, and they did a really good job. Where you wouldn't really notice is that you can't backtrack so much right now until you get the airship, and then the main towns are still going to be in every save.
Yep.
Unless it was 9 did really good with that. 7 and 8 was like the end game is on its own disc, sort of.
Yes. Well, and 8 especially was just like the world was pretty much done away with. Like it was just the castle and
sucked into time.
You could leave the castle, but there wasn't much out there except for like 1 or 2 like super items.
Yeah. Yeah, 8 was
I mean, I loved 8. I'm in that camp where I really don't understand the hate that 8 got.
When it first came out, I totally understand it. Yeah.
Essentially, it wasn't 7, and then people.
It's unfair that it gets that hate. It sucks, but
I mean,
I get it.
Yeah. So honestly, like Super Nintendo through PS1, I've just got to live with the fact that they're always going to be my favorite Final Fantasies. Ooh. And not just nostalgia. Like, it was just a different era of gaming, and the way that they play, it's like comfort food for me. I love the turn-based mechanics. I love the open world map. There's just nothing about those classic ones that I dislike. And 16 does its level best to recapture some of that and bring it into the new generation. But there are definitely parts where it does not succeed. And that doesn't mean it's a bad game or a faulty game or that it shouldn't be a Final Fantasy. It's just like a sign of the times, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That style of gaming is generally reserved for indie games now, which is sad because I made the comment when we were playing Sea of Stars demo that I would absolutely love if Square Enix would be really bold and make a new Final Fantasy game in that style. But I know
would
they
love
won't.
that. And without, they're not going to make it a main entry, which sucks.
No.
And,
I mean, they've kind of done that with the Bravely Default games, where like, for all intents and purposes, it is Final Fantasy. It's just it's just portable Final Fantasy in the classic style for people who are still into that kind of thing.
Weirdos.
Yeah, right. Sparks, Plok is a tank now? Yep.
Yeah,
Plok is just a Second Amendment
I know.
gun-toting Nazi. Look at this guy. I think the fleas are the
my
real
property
victims
when
here.
he just keeps escalating it.
Oh, God.
This is like stand your ground to the fucking extreme.
He just sits at home drinking beer, watching a lot of Clint Eastwood, and gets himself really hyped up. And goes out and kills fleas.
I mean, yeah. And if you look at the ending, it's kind of like the only thing that would make it better is if he had a beer in his hand.
Like, what have we done? I'm trying to think of anything else I really wanted to share with you about 16 now that I've finished it. That's not spoilery. Oh my God. How could I not mention the dog?
Oh my God.
He is
missing from 15 after they teased it.
Right. Well, and that's the thing too. Like the dog, you kind of think that you know where they're going with it. And it's just like, oh, it's just, like a way to appeal to the fan base. Of course you get a good boy, right? The dog is one of the fucking best characters. Not only in that game, but in any Final Fantasy. He is
nice.
He
led Flea Scum.
Right?
Now he's like channeling his Clint Eastwood.
You cucks. Fucking flea cucks. Oh, Jesus. But no, like, I won't say anything else about him either, because there's even spoilers about the freaking dog.
Oh shit, okay.
The dog is so good. Like, there's a side quest at the end of the game that you get with the dog, and I fucking dare you not to cry when you get to that one. And it's not sad like the dog dies or anything like that. It's literally just like, oh God, I've never known friendship like this. Bonus Plok. Yeah, I know what you're trying to do.
That's your bonus Plok right here. It's my penis.
Oh man,
he's totally just a different person.
Hey, there's something I can talk about a little bit too. There is a there's a villain in the game that you kind of you know how there's always kind of like a front end villain and a back end villain.
Like
Golbez
like,
and Zemus, or
yeah.
Yeah, like,
or well, I wouldn't say Kuja and Necron, because Kuja was always
the
villain up until the
like
Deuces
even
Machina.
even like until you find out more about Sephiroth, how like Shinra is like the big bad of FF7.
President Shinra,
yeah. The front end villain in 16 is awesome. Like holy shit, I love the guy. Like he is such a badass, and
I'm wondering if that was spoiled for me or not. I have no idea, but
like how so? Like you read something, or
I heard a podcast, and there were and so I know, unless it's not true at all, but spoilers, I guess, for FF16 is like Joshua. Obviously, you see him like at some point, and he's a villain, I think, for a while, or at least it appears that way.
No.
Okay.
you read wrong.
Okay, or I heard wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
I will debunk that completely.
Okay, cool.
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 The villain that I'm talking about, well, and actually, it's not even that big of a spoiler, because you see him in the opening of the game, and remember the king who's like in that conference room, and he's the one who you can tell is like the stoic token badass.
Yeah.
You all right there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm just gonna
vomit. Oh God.
Spider.
Oh Jesus! I thought you were gonna puke. Yeah, Sparks. Joshua was the kid brother who died at the beginning. Yeah. But no. So if you remember at the very beginning of the game, they show you that like conference room, and it introduces you to like the dominants, and there's the guy with the black hair and the beard at the table, and he's like the silent badass character.
Not the one that ends up making out with who I think is
No, that was Hugo Kupka, and he's Titan. He's a bitch.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that. I mean, I love to hate that guy, but I hate that guy. How's he got a UFO now? No, the one that I'm talking about
he's
is
also a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
And he can make his fever dreams come to life.
Right?
Because he's Plok.
The dominant of Odin is King Barnabas. And Barnabas is just a fucking badass son of a bitch tool.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if actually it was... I didn't know if it was going to be... I figured one of the main big bads was going to be kind of tangentially related to Clive's mom. Or you figure out that someone's pulling the strings and she was like all fucked up in the head or something.
Oh, she is fucked up. But no, she's fucked up on her own.
Okay.
I won't say anything more about it. She's every bit the piece of shit that the demo told you she was.
Yeah, and I was actually wondering if she literally had some power and she was going to be like...
I won't say anything. I will. The only thing I'll say is that she's not a combat villain, but goddamn is she a villain.
Cool.
Like there's never a big epic sword fight with Clive's mom, but she fucking sucks.
Yeah, she seems like it for sure.
I mean, she might
another one
be,
you love to hate. Like
you don't even love it though.
You just
I think
want to hate her.
Yeah, I think she is
awful.
one of the most vile, repulsive, and she's well written, which you know is kind of a testament to how much you hate her. She's just one of the most repulsive, vile characters in the series history. Like no redeeming qualities whatsoever. Like the game uses a lot of metaphors, you know, like how the dominants are essentially weapons
me in.
weapons of mass destruction, and the crystal not the crystal bear, the magic bearers, they're slaves, and they show the evil of slavery and stuff like that. She's just a straight up white supremacist is all she is.
Gotcha.
That is her. That's what she
role.
stands in for. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And she is awful. Oh my God. But Barnabas, I mean, he's kind of like the dangerous, like, political threat. And then as the story goes on and you learn his motivations, you kind of realize, God, this guy's actually fucking insane.
And Barnabas was the one near the beginning, the badass, silent badass at the table?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not even a spoiler because they reveal it to you as soon as you open his bio in the in-game encyclopedia. He's the dominant of Odin.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And so he is quite formidable.
Oh, wait a second. didn't they say something in the beginning like, "Oh, are you gonna cut shit up or something?" Or
oh
something
yeah,
like
probably. Yeah. And I honestly forgot. But like the game, I spent 80 hours just on my first playthrough, and I took it really leisurely. But the reports about it being short are completely false. But like it is definitely not as long as 12, but I would put it somewhere between 9 and 10.
Okay, and a lot of those games, if you didn't do side quests, were like 30 hours for a typical
like
playthrough.
if you were really gonna blitz the game, you somehow and not watch any of the cutscenes, you could probably get through it in 30. But
well, at the same time, I mean, I heard the game has like 16, 19 hours of cutscenes or something. Which I'm
the story.
I'm okay with that.
Story is deep, and that would also assume that you don't do any side quests or optional content, like front to back. Like if you're just going through the main plot beats in the dungeons, yeah, maybe 30 to 40 hours.
I'm save stating a lot. We're beating this fucking game.
Absolutely. I am here for it. But if you play it like I did, which was I didn't complete it. You know, I didn't do like every possible side quest and optional boss before going to the final boss because I knew that would make me OP.
Did I?
I don't know what you did.
Backwards?
Sparks believes in you. You can do it. I think you might have somehow.
How?
Oh God!
How did I do?
No!
No!
Why?
Dear God!
There is no God. Oh no. But yeah, like I would say your average player, like ones who don't play it like I do, where I want to just, you know, pause and like look at the world and start reading things and just random shit like that. Your average player will probably get it done in about 60 hours.
Okay, yeah, that's not short at all.
No, not even a little bit. But
and
like I said, I ended up doing
reference?
it in 80.
The reference is like Western RPGs.
There was a stupid interview with Yoshi P that got translated as this game will only take players 30 hours to finish if they want to, and people took that as like, oh my god, it's a half-baked game, and they're
also
not giving
Yoshi P underpromised a lot of shit about this game.
He played it close to the chest. I'm surprised by how much ended up being in there that I had no idea to expect.
Yeah, it's and then even when it came to the cutscenes, he was like, yeah, there's about 11 hours of cutscenes, and
more like 20,
closer to 20. Yeah, and it's just like, what?
Oh my gosh, another huge praise. The voice cast in that game, just phenomenal.
Yeah,
like better than 12.
That's
even.
Yeah, and 12.
And 12 was great.
I feel like they hired like the most professional actors they could, or something. Like,
yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, you could get that from the demo easily. That it was like, okay, they've stepped it up.
Yeah.
And when I talk about the square cheese, you get it with at least the English voice actors for sure.
Oh God. Yeah. No, there's some cheese, but it's not like bad. I mean, like it's a much darker,
really bad cringe stuff is what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. No, there's none of that. Yeah, there's actually none of that. Like there's moments of comic relief, and there's characters that are just like, but you're actually rooting for them in their goofiness sometimes.
Yeah, like a sauce.
Because you know it's still a JRPG, and Final Fantasy just kind of has some of those Japanese isms that don't always translate well into the West, and that it's kind of endearing, and it does. There are moments of that in 16, but the whole voice cast is just fantastic, and I know you've heard about Clive's performer. He never disappoints. Like Clive may be the best protagonist in the series. Yeah, like overall, like maybe, like I said, not my favorite, but that's something different from like objectively the best, you know.
Yeah,
like Cecil, who by modern standards, I was
just gonna say,
like Cecil's probably still my favorite, but realistically, I completely understand that compared to other series protagonists, he's largely underdeveloped. Like you never really learn the fullness of his past or anything like that. He undergoes the arc of becoming a paladin and everything, but he's always just a good guy. He doesn't like ever struggle with his existence or anything like that in the way some other characters do. But and
yeah,
that's part
right,
part
like
of why I
Zidane or something.
Yeah, right. But I love Cecil. He's probably still my favorite protagonist. But I can see where Clive just has absolutely the most character growth and I guess meaningful development is the best way I can put it. Like
Okay.
he's a different person at the end of the game than he is at the beginning, and like yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't want to spoil anything. He's just a good guy, and oh, nice, well done.
Also, could I just say it's a small thing, but I appreciate having for most of the game having an older protagonist, and it does harken back to some of the older games.
It's kind of like they know that a lot of the people playing it are our age, you know, who grew up with it, and who are now who you know. I'm still happy to play as a JRPG starring a 17-year-old, but man, if I do not feel attached to any 17-year-old characters anymore.
Yeah, 12 did good with that too, where it was like 6. There was no main character, but if there was a main character,
it was Balthier.
It's not really Vaughn. Yeah, it's not Vaughn.
It was Bosch, Balthier, and Ash. Like
they
were the ones. And Ash. I mean, they were the ones driving the story.
I mean, Ash was the one that she was like the Yuna, where it's just like she's kind of the reason.
Yeah, that all this is happening, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, she also gets to make the big decision at the end of the game. Like, am I going to use this thing to make myself a queen, or am I going to
rebel
my God,
against what they want? Yeah.
What the fuck is this? Oh God.
A queen spider.
Is that the Slurm slug from Futurama?
Yes, it is. That is exactly what the boss is.
That's exactly
the boss of the game is just.
Oh, this is the boss of the game. Shit, dude.
Yes, it is.
You're the man.
Whew.
You can do it. I believe in you. All right, so I think I've said just about everything I can say about 16 and not really ruin the game for you. I don't know. Is there anything else that like you read or that you were curious about that you want my take on?
I was really wondering about the mark, so I'm glad to hear that it's just 12, basically.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
it's
even
exactly
13's wasn't bad, but yeah.
It's way more
I love
in-depth
12's
than,
mark system.
Yeah, it's way better than 13's. But 13's was good, in all fairness. In all fairness to not my favorite game.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying, there's stuff even to this day that I still like about 13. There's never been a entry in the Final Fantasy series that I walked away from and thought, boy, that was entirely not worthwhile, because it is my favorite series.
Yeah, there's I can't think of a single game that was like that.
Yeah, maybe 2, but I mean, can you blame them? It was on the NES. The series did not have its identity in place at all.
Also, we played like 4 and 6 before we ever played 2.
Right, exactly.
So,
though apparently, like, even people in Japan played 2 are like, I can't beat this game. It's fucking ridiculous.
I was also, I feel like
the GBA and Pixel Remaster versions of it really made up for it. And actually, when the Pixel Remasters came out, I did replay 2 and was surprised essentially
they changed the system, right?
Yeah, they completely made it more approachable. Nice. And at that point, it was like, okay, if they had done this from the beginning, it would have been an actual playable game. So yeah, overall, I mean, like I said, even 2 I don't necessarily hate, but you know, it does nothing for me whatsoever.
Yeah. And 2 I've played through once, and I thought the villain was cool, but I think that's mostly even there wasn't a whole lot to
sometimes.
them. It was it was kind of like what Square, like, I feel like half the reason the Emperor is cool is because of Amano's art. Honestly, like,
oh god, Amano does so much. That's the other thing that I would love to see in a modern Final Fantasy game. I'd love them either to go back to like a really high-res sprite-based or pre-rendered background style. I just think that would be cool to see again in 2023. Or alternatively, I would kill, and I mean kill, for the chance to see Yoshitaka Amano's artwork brought to life. Like, if
there was like some kind of like art exhibit in Japan or something where they were it was like augmented 3D or something. I don't know if it was like you wore goggles or some shit, but it was like shit was moving around. Wait.
Did you save lock yourself? Yep.
No.
Oh no! Hey, look at that.
I almost did.
You almost did. Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying though about the exhibit.
I remember seeing something where it's like it was. I remember it was Rydia, and like you would walk around it, and it would like kind of transform a little bit.
Oh, that would be so cool to see.
I'll have to see what that was.
I'm thinking even like the original Vampire Hunter D movie, where it was still an anime, but it was like there were things that were pulled straight from Amano's artwork. I would love to see
that. Keep doing that
somehow, and like I don't even know how they would do it because his style is so like flowy and ethereal that to make it 3D probably would make it weird. But I don't know if they could find a way to do it, I would kill for that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because I mean, he's got to be getting up there too. Like, if not necessarily dying, but definitely retirement age. You know?
Yeah.
But like, he can enjoy the fruits of a long and storied career. But you know, if they were to bring him back for one big hurrah, where, like in 6 on Down, where he was responsible for all of the conceptual art, that. And they use that as the basis for the art style of, you know, not just like the artwork, but like the whole game in general. Like, I would love that. And
because they couldn't do that back then.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they could, and they did with the enemies. And that was about it.
Well, you know what's kind of funny though? Now that I think of it, the closest we've ever actually come to that was the Dissidia games. Because the characters...
With the main characters?
Yeah, because they don't look like they did in their respective game. You should have a beer and a gun.
If he had a beer, it would make this.
That's awesome. But no, they based them more on his artwork, which I thought was really cool. Because there aren't too many people who would really appreciate that. Like,
no, you're right. That was the best part of the Dissidia... Well, one of the best things about the Dissidia game.
Dissidia was really good. The first two, the PS...
I was about to say the NT one... wasn't that great.
Oh, it wasn't just not great, it was bad.
They forced the teams, why?
Well, and like the one thing that
both Bolin brothers worked on this game? Holy shit.
Oh, interesting. Like the one thing that really like was universally praised about the Dissidia games is the combat was really on point. It was a really good fighting game. And they made it like floaty and impactless, and like you didn't even get like the full move set for any of the characters from the original games. Oh, it was bad. But the art style is beautiful. And you know, Dissidia NT, it's almost better to just go out and see if you can find the strategy guide and just buy that instead of buying the actual game, because that's where you get all the cool artwork and the character
the best
models.
part of the game,
right
there. And
the only good part of that game.
$60.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, so that's my
Thanks
Final
to
Fantasy.
Rare.
Thanks to Rare. They had a hand.
Wonder why.
Maybe Donkey Kong is an optional boss and you've never beat him.
I've never beat the... You were talking about Mowgli. I've never beat the optional boss in Illusion of Gaia, but that's
really?
fucking... That collecting all the red jewels is like... impossible.
Isn't he like the final boss from the Soul Blazer game?
I don't know if he's he might be the final boss from Soul Blazer. He's definitely from Soul Blazer, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
And he's like...
But he's impossible.
yeah. It's... I mean, in order to get all the gems, I mean, you fuck it up from the first town. You know, it's just like, wait, you didn't talk to the fisherman like 3 times or something? Look, idiot.
Oh, fuck you.
You better restart the game.
Yep. Fortunately, they did give you the strategy guide in the box, which is great.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude.
MSOs like Earthbound having that huge box with the legit actual strategy guide.
Right.
And then Illusion of Gaia's was like just a very thick.
Yes.
It's basically a strategy guide.
It is. It is. It's a full strategy guide.
It had a walkthrough for the game. Like,
yep. It's built in.
Look how paranoid he is.
I know.
To get my gun.
I'm gonna get my guns. Obama's
packing
coming
under
for
that
my
cushion.
guns. I better go to sleep. Oh God, was that you, Obama? What the fuck? Why did they make him 3D at the end?
Right at the end.
Hey kids, it was me all along. Oh God, that's unsettling.
A little bit.
The fuck is that? Oh, Plok.
Well,
Second Amendment.
That was Plok.
Yep, and that was my take on 16. So I hope you enjoyed my final thoughts there.
Oh yeah, that was. We can wrap both of those threads up in a neat.
I can't wait until you do play it, and we can talk about all the spoilerific things that I want to talk about.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
You play that. Sparks?
Also, let me know when you beat. I was gonna say Breath of the Wild 2, Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh yeah, that's actually the next project I'm going to finish.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Sparks asked, "What game are we playing next for 16-bit summer, Max?"
You know what? I'm not 100% positive. I would love to look at the Steam Deck and I don't know, for no reason, look at like the N64 emulators. Oh, but to answer Sparks' question, which is totally unrelated, Mischief Makers.
Oh,
I would love that because I haven't played that game. I've never played it on anything but the N64.
That would be awesome, man.
Yeah,
if you can
and
make
I'd
that
love
happen.
to get back into it.
Yep.
You know what? I'll work on it tonight.
Okay. The other one that I definitely want to do before the summer is finished, I would love for us to finish our Donkey Kong co-op.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if we start back at were we at the oil? No, we were past that. We were like the second to last
place. If we were to restart the game, I wouldn't care because it would still only take us like 3-4 episodes tops.
Yeah, we wouldn't even die very much at all until we got to the snow stages. Like
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Beginning of the game's pretty easy. The
Sparks,
one-ups are plentiful.
To answer your question about Tuesday, I don't know if it's Tuesday specifically, but one of these nights we're going to do some 4-player co-op and do Castle Crashers.
Hell yeah.
So, well, more to follow there.
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, it should be good Tuesday. I'm just thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, because I should be home by like 7:30 or so.
Let's text Nick and Christy and figure out what works for them. But Tuesday works for me too.
All right, sweet. All right, man.
All right.
Well, yeah, we'll see what's next for 16-bit summer, and maybe it's Castle Crashers. But yeah. All right, I'll see you next time.
Later, buddy. Guard your guns.
Yeah.
Unless the liberals come take them.
Yeah.
Liberals.
Follow Plok's example. Stand your ground always.
Look at his wise eyes.
Yep. That is not knows, someone who with an opium addiction.
He knows who Q is.
Then the truth has driven him crazy. Fuck.